Councilman Franklin, you do?
Yes, sir.
So we're good. All right, the time is 7 PM and I call this regularly scheduled meeting of the Red Oak City Council to order. Let it be known that notice that has been posted in accordance to Texas Government Code Section 551. And we're here to conduct business for the city. We have Councilman, Mayor Pro Tem Drake, Councilman Franklin, Councilman Goodwin, Councilman Lightfoot present. Councilman Smith is absent. And we have management and directors present and a couple lone audience people, so which we're glad that they're here. So this meeting is called to order at 7 o'clock. If you will join me in the invocation and then I'll lead us in our pledges. Heavenly Father, thank you. Thank you for all that you provide for every citizen, every kid, every animal, and every worker within the city. Firefighters, police officers. Just watch over them as they continue to provide services for the city. Please watch for our maintenance and operation and our finance and most importantly, our leaders of the city. Thank you for what you do. Bless this city as it continues to grow and help us council, be open to ideas about what transpires within the city to make this the best city, which it is in Ellis County. Forgive us where we fail you. In Christ's name I pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Should have had something clear about on his feet.
Cool. All right, so now's the time for presentations, and this is the month that we actually get to celebrate something that we haven't had a strong showing in the city until most recently, and I think that continues to make this a community, and that is when we have parks and we're able to grow and develop them and continue to provide for citizens, youth, able body and those that are challenged with new things that kind of come into the city, help keep kids busy, keep them off the streets, it decreases crime, everything that kind of goes on. So actually, I'm going to step down and we have two presentations more specifically about Parks and Recreation Month and as we continue to grow and develop, and then Professionals Day. So Mr. Kelly, please go. So July is Parks and Recreation Month. And again, that's an integral part of what makes a city gets people involved. They like the walking trails. They're able to play basketball, swim when we did a swimming pool. Just sports for the kids, just to sit and take a load off and get out and listen to the nature that kind of goes on. So it's with great honor that we as council and myself as mayor get to designate July 2023 as Parks and Recreation Month, and along those lines, through the service of you and your staff, the professionals that really keep things kind of going, we get to designate July 21st as Parks and Recreation Professionals Day. So thank you for your service.
Okay. Now's the time for citizens' comments. Citizens' comments are limited to 3 minutes each person. Do we have anybody online signed up? Okay, so we have two for citizens' comments that submitted before our deadline, 3, I'm sorry, two. If I can get someone to read these in, so it's into public record.
So Christy Williams of 617 Hazelton Road is in the city limits. And her concern is holiday that involves the use of fireworks. What is the official policy inside the city limits of Red Oak? When the police are called, the lack of response and the comments of neighbors participating in this activity are unacceptable. The police just riding through, not stopping, smiley face, but y'all behind Pinehurst wins again. Happy 4th, just be safe.
Second one.
Yeah, that's part of that. The other one is from Tito Villapando, 609 Hazelton, Red Oak, talking about street lights. I see that there are plans to expand Ovilla Road going east of I-35. As a resident who lives on this side, can we request that LED street lighting also be installed, as it is very dark at night once we pass all the Walmart and stores? I have seen so many cars swerve, almost causing wrecks because they are not seeing individuals walk on the sidewalk at night. I feel like it can help improve drivers' visibility and start helping deter any crimes, since the roads will be well lit. Second comment, are there also plans to open a community pool? If not, can we add this at some point for our residents?
So one comment I'd just say is, if we can reach out, make sure they know that that's Tech Stop that's expanding that, and we don't have any control over that. Sure. For lights. Okay. Was there anybody here that wished to speak on public comments, citizens' comments? Thank you. All right, so time for consent agenda. Consent agenda are items that are considered routine in nature and can be acted upon by one motion. They are items that might come up year to year. We've been briefed, we've seen it before, it's been in our packet. Myself, any council member or any staff that needs to elaborate on any of these, since the posting can ask for those to be removed and discussed separately, or if you have a question specifically, we should probably pull it and answer those questions. Was there any item that needed to be addressed separately?
No items.
No item. Okay. So those are items 1 through 9. I'll entertain a motion to approve those as consent agenda items.
So moved. Second.
That was Councilman Drake, second by Councilman Lightfoot. Those in favor?
Franklin, I.
Aye.
Drake, I.
Lightfoot, aye.
That was 4-0. Did I get that wrong? Was it? Oh, okay. It was.
Drake, Lightfoot.
Yep, okay, okay, all right. That's 4-0. Items 10, conduct a public hearing. Thank you, Mr. Thank you, Mr. Raymer, for coming. You bet.
Tom, we're gonna reconsider it if he didn't stay.
Item 10, conduct a public hearing and consider approval of ordinance number 23-023, the city of Red Oak, Texas, annexing hereafter described tract land being 387.109 plus or minus acres of land, being more particularly described and depicted in Exhibit A, which is attached here to and incorporated herein, located in Pecan Hill extraterritorial jurisdiction to the city of Red Oak, Texas, and extending the boundary limits of the city so as to include said property within the city limits and granting to all inhabitants and owners of said property all the rights and privileges of other citizens and binding all inhabitants by all the ordinances, acts, resolution, and regulations of said city, providing for the annexation service plan attached hereto and incorporated herein as Exhibit B, providing a repealing clause, providing a severability clause, and providing an effective date. Mr. Fuller.
Greg, can you pull the laptop up on the screens? So as you all will recall, for the last few months, we've been working on this boundary agreement between City of Red Oak and Pecan Hill, as well as between City of Red Oak and City of Waxahachie. So Pecan Hill has taken all of the actions that they're required to take. They have already done the boundary line agreement. They have done the de-annexation of this particular property that we're looking to annex tonight. And they have already relinquished their ETJ on our side of the boundary line. So that part is done. Waxahachie has approved the agreement. They will approve the relinquishment of their ETJ at, I believe, their the 17th meeting, I think it is. So they've already approved the agreement, though. They just have to come back and approve the actual resolution to wrap that up. So what we'll do tonight, assuming council agrees, is we have gotten, as you can see on the map here, we have gotten the voluntary annexation petition from Whitfield Farms. They are the ones that were de-annexed by Pecan Hill so that they could now annex into the city of Red Oak. And that is what we are here tonight to do. We do expect to come back again next month in August and ratify that, just in case there is some little corner piece that might have been included in Waxahachie's ETJ, since they have not relinquished theirs yet. But that would just be a ratification at that time. So staff recommends approval of moving forward and then ratifying that at the next meeting.
Mr. McCleary, you have anything else? He's just standing for good
He's
looks.
pushing buttons for me.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, great.
thought we were gonna have a rare Lee McQuarrie segment.
My job is to press this button.
Okay, so this is a public hearing and we will open this public hearing at 7:13. Was there anyone present or online that wishes to speak? Was there anybody that called in or? Okay. I'm not as long-winded as Mayor Hughley, so I'm gonna say it at 7:13 and a half. We are going to close, I entertain a motion to close that hearing. That will make it 7:14 now.
So moved.
All right, Councilman Lightfoot,
Back up.
Councilman Goodwin. All right. Those in favor of closing that public hearing.
Franklin, I.
Aye.
Drake, I.
All right, that's 4-0.
Mayor,
Now-
Mayor and Council, sorry to interrupt, Mayor, but I want to make sure that everyone understands the Pecan Hill. We left it, we called it Pecan Hill ETJ so that everyone would understand what was de-annexed. That is actually in the Red Oak ETJ now, just for the record.
It was the
Thank you.
prior.
It was prior, but we left it that way so that you could identify what property we were talking.
Understood.
All right, so council, are there any other questions that you need for this?
No, sir.
No questions.
All right, entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 23-023.
So moved.
Second, Lightfoot. Drake. Those in favor.
Franklin, I.
Aye.
Drake, I.
All right, that passes 4-0. Item 11, conduct a public hearing and consider approval of ordinance number 23-024. The city of Red Oak, Texas, amending the code of ordinances by amending chapter 3 building regulation by repealing article 3.03 flood damage prevention in its entirety and replacing it with the new article, same number, 3.03 flood damage prevention, adding statutory authorization, findings of facts, purpose and methods, definitions, general provisions, administration and provisions for flood hazard reduction, providing a savings clause, providing a severability clause, and providing a repealing clause, and providing an effective date. Mr. Hartman.
Mayor, Council, this is a update to one of our current ordinances. The purpose of the flood damage prevention ordinance is to be in compliance with FEMA's overall regulations, because we participate in the NFIP, which is National Flood Insurance Program, and that's a federal program to limit the damage of flooding nationwide. And that's done through the ordinance, which probably the easiest way is just give you an example of how we use it. There was a house on Red Oak Road that was built a few years ago. The whole lot was in the floodplain. And so when they came into permit, I said, hey, wait, hang on. We got to get this out of the floodplain so that you don't have a risk, or a much less risk of having your home flooded. And so overall, on a national level, that keeps the government from having, the federal government have to step in and help bail out people because they didn't have the appropriate amount of flood insurance. So essentially, in that case, we had them fill the area, bring it up so that their home was 2 feet above the floodplain, which allows them to get flood. They can still get flood insurance. They don't have to unless their lender requires it, but it allows them to have insurance at a rate of $20 a month instead of $1,000 a month. And so this is simply a benefit for the citizens that we have as a city.
Ben, could you explain what the different colors on this map is that we're looking at?
Yeah, so I just pulled this up because
As
it's
an
one of the maps that when FEMA puts out their firms, their flood insurance rate maps. This shows where your higher level of risk is. Okay, so this is going to follow all of our creeks. The light blue is going to be your actual floodplain. So during a 100-year event, which is typically going to be 9.31 inches of rain in an hour. You'll get some kind of water spread that looks something like this. And I think it's pretty accurate. Now, all the LiDAR available now is making these very accurate. So that blue is where the water gets, where it's not rushing, right? It just kind of comes up into the yards, goes back down. The hashed layer there, that's your flood way. That's where the actual, you've got high velocity movement through there.
It's the actual creek itself.
Right,
and
right.
When it just comes out of the
Right.
banks.
It'll come out of the banks, but it'll still be moving quite swiftly. Yeah.
What's the little brown area on the edge?
That's the 500-year.
Okay, so can you build in the 500?
You can, but we would still be asking for elevations. Yeah.
So this is a public hearing, so we'll open this public hearing at 7:19. Was there anyone that wished to speak on that? So Ben, and how often do they update this map typically?
So the last update was done in 2013, which is the same time we did our ordinance, and then they're just updating it again. And so 10 years is pretty typical.
Was there anyone here that wished to speak on that or online? Okay. How about 7:20? I'll entertain a motion to close this public hearing.
So moved.
Second. That was Franklin. Okay, second was Drake. Those in favor?
Franklin, I.
Aye.
Drake, I.
That's 4-0. Yeah, and that's kind of a no-brainer, so I'll consider approval of ordinance number 23-024.
So moved.
Second. So that's Drake and Lightfoot. Those in favor,
Franklin, I.
Drake, I.
that passes 4-0. Item 12, conduct a public hearing and consider adoption of resolution 23-057R, the city of Red Oak, Texas, electing to continue to become eligible to participate in tax abatement and to create reinvestment zones in accordance to chapter 312 of the Texas Tax Code and providing an effective date. Are these ones that we can do
Yes,
multiple times? So,
you can do them both together.
12 and 13.
okay, so
You just have one public hearing. but you have a separate motion.
I can read them both now.
Yes,
And item 13, conduct a public hearing and consider adoption of resolution number 23-058R, the city of Red Oak, Texas, establishing and adopting the guidelines and criteria governing tax abatement in the city of Red Oak, Texas, and establishing an effective date in accordance with chapter 312 of the Texas Tax Code and providing an effective date. Mr. Fuller, you want to?
Yeah, so basically these two are basically the things that we have to do statutorily every couple of years to remain eligible to grant those tax abatements. And then the guidelines, we just move them forward, as long as we're meeting the statutory requirements, which we do. And obviously ours are based on an as needed basis. We don't look at tax abatements as a group. We look at them individually per application. So these two are the two that we have to do right now before we can continue to do any further tax abatements into the future.
So it's 7:22 and we will open that public hearing. Was there anyone here or online that needed to speak to this? Okay. How about 7:23? We will close this public hearing with some motion.
So moved.
Councilman Franklin, Councilman Drake. Those in favor?
Franklin, I.
Drake, I.
All right, that passes 4-0. So back to the first. Consider adoption of resolution number 23-057R.
So moved.
Councilman Drake,
Second.
Councilman Franklin. Those in favor?
Franklin, I.
Drake, I.
That's 4-0. And consider adoption of resolution 23-058R.
So moved.
Councilman Franklin,
Second.
Councilman Drake. Those in favor?
Franklin, I.
Drake, I.
That passes 4-0. Now, those are the things that helps us to be able to entice businesses to come to Red Oak. And so thank you, council, for doing those. Item 14, conduct a public hearing and consider approval of ordinance number 23-025R, the city of Red Oak, Texas, designating reinvestment zone number 11, the zone, providing eligibility of the zone for commercial industrial tax abatement containing findings that the area qualifies to be designated as a reinvestment zone, and the improvements sought are feasible and practicable, and of benefit to the land and city, providing a severability clause, providing a repealing clause, and providing an effective date. Mr. Fuller?
Okay, this is, if you recall, last month, we did the same thing for the property where Snyder Electric is gonna go on. This time, we're doing the bigger acreage for the property that Compass bought from the IDC. And they will be coming forward next month to do the actual tax abatement itself. So tonight is just establishing that reinvestment zone. And then next month we'll come back with the actual abatement.
So that's the northeast corner of that 400
sir.
acres. Okay.
Yes.
All right, this is a public hearing, so entertain that or open that public hearing at 7:25. Was there anybody online or in person that needed to speak on this? Okay. I'll delay it 1 minute. Okay, 7:25 and a half. I'll entertain that motion.
Second.
Councilman Lightfoot. Councilman Drake. Those in favor of closing?
Franklin, I.
Aye. Drake, I.
All right, that passes 4-0. Council, any questions on that?
No question.
Okay, entertain that motion to approve ordinance number 23-025R.
So moved.
Second. Councilman Drake, Councilman Lightfoot, those in favor?
Franklin, I.
Drake, I.
That's 4-0. All right, item 15. This is conduct a public hearing and consider adoption of resolution number 23-059R, the city of Red Oak, Texas, approving the terms and conditions of the tax abatement agreement by and between the city of Red Oak, Texas and Compass Data Centers DFW 3 SE LLC, authorizing its execution by the mayor and providing an effective date. And this is one that we're going to open the public hearing, but just leave it open. Continue.
Yeah,
That's the terms.
I would ask the council to make a motion to continue the public hearing and consideration of resolution 23059R until August 14th, 2023 at our regularly scheduled meeting.
We don't need to open the hearing, we're continuing the.
I thought he did.
Oh,
I'm getting ready.
Okay.
Well, I'm sorry, the time is 7:27. We're opening in it.
And I'll make a motion that we continue the hearing till our next.
Okay.
Yes, it would be to continue the public hearing and consideration adoption of resolution 23059R until August 14th, 2023 at our regularly scheduled meeting.
Okay.
So moved.
Councilman Lightfoot, second, Councilman Goodwin. Wow, good one. Thank you. Those in,
And real quick, just so you know what's going on, why we're continuing it is Snyder Electric, the actual occupant, the leaser for Compass has made some last minute changes to the building itself. So that will change everything and they're having to reapply with new information. So moving on.
So just a point of order, council, is it possible to move on to a different motion with one still open on the floor?
Yes,
Okay,
but I still need to
Well-
do a vote for this, correct?
well, there's a motion and a second. You need to take a vote on
Okay,
it.
so it won't be open once we vote on it, right? It'll be-
Yeah, then it'll be closed.
So we leave it.
so we should leave it open.
So we don't.
Yeah, we're just leaving it open right now.
So we don't.
Under Robert's
the
rules, you
motion-
can make a motion if it's an appropriate motion on this item. Because this item is being continued. So I don't know what your motion is, so it's hard to answer that question, but. From
Motion was to continue
right,
the hearing and the
Until-
deliberation of this item.
and there are privileged motions that can be made on that,
So we're
approving to
but I don't know what he's gonna.
I think Councilman Franklin is asking, are you trying to make a
To take
motion that
away-
we solve this tonight? rather
Yeah,
than
right.
continue?
Otherwise, would it die on the floor if we don't vote on
I don't know what the changes are. First of all, I don't know. Todd may.
it? Okay,
Well, if we don't continue it tonight, basically, they would have to come back, make new application. We'd have to go back through the publication process and go back through the notices and so on and so forth.
okay,
And that's really the only difference. This way, we're just continuing it so that we don't have to go back through all the publication and all this mess.
okay, understood. Thank you.
Okay, so we still have to vote
On the continue.
on the continuation. Okay. So those in favor of that continuation,
Franklin, I.
Aye. Drake, I.
But I.
that passes 4-0.
Shut that.
30 minutes. Now give us the
We
reports.
have to sit here and stare at each other.
Chief Blanton, happy birthday. Welcome to the podium.
Happy birthday.
All right.
Hopefully y'all got to see the new fire truck. It was out there and, we're hoping to take, or we're going to take possession of it, fully take possession of it later this week. We're just finishing up some last minute, items that they're mounting. We've got training on it next week and then we hope to put it in service shortly thereafter. So,
It's a birthday present.
sir, yeah, it was a great birthday present. They just let me drive it.
I appreciate you getting it out here for us to look at.
You bet,
It was
you bet.
hard to do.
I just wanted to be able to see what you, at the fire at station number one. There on Methodist.
Think you get it in there?
Oh, yeah, for sure, for sure.
Gotta let the
Hey,
light down.
it's
We'll
fancy
be
'cause
talking about that.
the rear wheels here too, so it's kind of cool.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you, chief.
Yes, sir.
Chief Wolf. And yes, when you bring your toys, we like those too. So thank you.
I don't have anything as ostentatious as their truck. Just real quick, Mayor, Council, we currently have one person in active background for our 2 vacant positions. We're hoping to have that finalized by the end of this month, maybe ready to make an offer to fill one of our 2 remaining open positions. And then I wanted to highlight our training within the monthly report. We average between 150 and 200 hours of training every month for the department. This month, we were able to complete 203 hours of training. That's in-house and actually farming staff out to outside training as well. That's one of the things that we've really tried to encourage over the tenure of myself here, is that we provide quality training to our staff and continue to build them and bring them up within the organization. So I wanted to take a moment to highlight that one section within the report. We, again, on average, 150 to 200 hours, and we were able to complete 203 hours this month.
Thanks.
I'm happy to answer any questions on the monthly.
I normally read through the notable calls and I didn't get a chance to this time. Anything to point out there? I know you had a great story last time. I didn't want to
No,
put you on the
this-
spot if there's not anything that groundbreaking. It's the
No,
last.
just kind of status quo stuff.
Thank you. I will definitely read through them. I just want to give you a chance if there was anything in there you wanted to brag about.
No, not this time.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Thanks, you, Chief.
I don't know if this requires a vote, but I think we should let Chief Glenn get out of here and go enjoy his birthday. I don't know if we need him for the rest of the meeting.
Unless we got a fire.
He's already read.
I'd like for you to stay around. I'd like for you to stay around. Ms. Beasley, I'm sorry.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Wanted to thank you, those of you who were able to come out to the Red Oak White and Blue event. We had a great success, estimated at 4,500 people, which is about 1,000 more than we had last year. So it's, yeah, it definitely was. I'd also like to take a moment to thank all the other departments. It's definitely not a solo effort by my department alone. It really is a group collective effort to make this event happen. It was an all hands on deck with not only City of Red Oak staff, but Oaks Church volunteers as well. In total, almost 100 volunteers and staff members out there to make this event happen. So want to express my thanks to the other departments as well as Oaks Church. And then we have a short recap video that we're going to show you guys that Danielle put together for us. So kind of highlighting some of her new skills that she's bringing to the team and a good recap of the event.
Great job.
I will take any other questions anybody may have.
Thank you very much.
Very well done.
Thank you.
Well done.
Mr. Hartman, if you don't come with the video, don't come. No, I'm sorry. No part of it.
So back to follow.
Just want to highlight one of our projects that's been ongoing for a long time. We just did a final walkthrough on Harmony Way. Harmony Way's been on the transportation plan for a long time, and it now connects from all 4 lanes from Yule Road all the way to the highway. So if y'all haven't been out there, go check it out. The streetlights are on back order, but they're coming. But all 4 lanes of pavement are.
Nice.
So,
That's great.
thanks.
Thank you.
sir.
You had a pretty cool map though.
Yeah.
Didn't move.
It's flat. There you
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I just had a few things to bring out from the report this month. We are at 75% of the year, so we have 3 months remaining in this fiscal year. And as you see in the report, our budgets are on track to meet or exceed the budget. Our expenses are below budget, so that's good. Also, one of the projects that we completed this month was the annual inventory of the vehicles and equipment. And that's where we go out and put eyes on basically all the vehicles and equipment in the departments and check out the odometer reading and the condition basically and assess that. And then, of course, we're working very heavily on the budget so that we can meet with you for the budget workshop coming up,
which is,
which is a week from tonight.
okay. Don't want anybody snoring through that. So the 17th.
Yes,
So,
that's all I have. I'd be happy to take any questions you might have.
great. Thank
Really
you.
good news. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
thank you
you.
very much. Ms. Amanda.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I just have a brief update on recruitment. We did hire one additional new hire this past month, and you saw some of her work tonight. And we currently have 5 positions posted. We did send out our benefits RFP last month, so we did receive those responses, and I believe we should have some good news to present to you all next Monday.
That's encouraged.
That's fantastic.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Looking forward. Mr. Benford.
Mayor, Council, just a couple updates. After 14 years, our firewall that's on the network between us and Midlothian finally failed. And that's a pretty good run. So we replaced that. We weren't down too long, a couple hours, that was replaced. And then we started doing some auditing this month of some old POTS lines. It's the old fax lines and alarm system lines that were in the buildings. Most of that is all moved to cellular now, so we're able to cut 6 circuits and it'll save somewhere between $850 to $1,000 a month. AT&T wants us to get rid of those, so the prices just keep going up every time it comes back around. And then we're working on some network configurations for police cars to get their in-car videos uploaded a little quicker while they're driving around.
Nice.
That's it.
Great. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Ms. Waterman.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Report on the library. Next week, we're ending our summer reading program for the year. We've had great attendance at our programs. And we'll have final numbers on full participation in the reading challenge by the kids. We have programs planned August through October right now, and we have a safety program that we're partnering with the police on for August as well.
Nice. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Mr. Kelly.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. I just, first of all, I'd like to thank Alexa and her team for putting on a really good show last week. I heard a lot of really good compliments from folks that have come for a long time saying that was the best show ever, so congratulations. And I know, but y'all did a great job leading the effort, so thank you for doing that. I didn't have to, so it was on you. Thank you. And I'd also like to point out this month that, on the 21st, it's Parks and Recreation Professionals Day. And I would like to thank my team. I've got a really great team. I've got, Tim and Mark that work the evenings and weekends and then Danny and Renee and Jesse and Anthony that work, during the days and weekends and whenever we need them to. And, it's a small team, but they're very good at what they do, and I really appreciate having them. And then having Sandlin come on board has been a big difference for me. So I would just like to just tell y'all, thank you for allowing us to hire these kind of people. Because it's going to certainly pay off. It's making a difference every day in our community, and we want to continue to move that away. So I just also want to say, thank you for my team. I'm very proud of them and glad they're mine. So thank y'all.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Kelly. And Mr. Williams.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. We'll just start off with the street update so Cole and Rugged are complete. Texas bid, the contractor mobilized, got them, everything knocked out. The county has now started in the Overlook area, so Overlook, Baldwin, Carson, Dana, Roxy, they're focusing on those 6 streets. And so once they're done with the reconstruction, then Texas Bit will then come back in and do the asphalt component, the overlay. So, and then county will be moving to other streets that we have, Pebble Creek and areas like that, Deer Park, Deer Creek. So, I don't know what their schedule is beyond overlay, but so our contractor doing the utility reloads for TxDOT, BlackRock, they've completed pretty much everything from Red Oak Road through almost to the Plaza and Plaza Drive, I'm sorry. And then they have some boring under I-35 that they're working on. It's that aspect, those components are a little bit more, just take a lot more effort. It didn't go as fast, it's just laying pipe. So, but they are still on track for September deadline, completing in September. So I'll keep you updated on that, but that's when TxDOT's let date for the Ovilla widening project is in September. So we're kind of pushing them and working with them, trying to make sure that we meet that deadline. So we're working with the contractor. Previous meeting, council approved the demolition of the Live Oak buildings. So we're working with that contractor, trying to get them scheduled. So there's potentially next meeting, if the buildings are still standing, hopefully the contractor will be working on them at that point. So they may not even be here then. So and then our contractor doing the Fox Hollow gravity main project, they started last week. They've already got, I think last I heard, about 300 feet of pipe underground. So and the deadline on that one, because of the elementary school, is to complete in August before school starts. So, and that's so far on track. And any questions on projects or?
Appreciate you getting those potholes there just with an S curve on staying back. Appreciate that. And
yeah,
sure glad to see a Rugged taken care of.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. It's been long needed and finally able to get it. So.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. All right. Was there anything else that we need to? Okay. So we will go into closed session pursuant to section government code, section 551.071, 551.087, 551.072, and that time is 7:44. And we'd like to invite Alan Eugene.
Then, mayor and council,
Well, not specific. I mean, we can't. I don't care. All right, and two chiefs, if y'all would come in too.
yeah, I don't have anything on 17 discoveries ongoing in that, so.
Okay.
they can come in because you need them for 18 and 19.
Okay. And Lee, wherever Lee is. Oh, there he is. Okay.
Number.
I do think it pays for itself.
My wife said her sister's house.
Very good.
Lobby article?
All right, the time is 8:16, and I will reconvene back into open session. And there is no action that needs to be taken, so I'll entertain a motion at 8:17 to close.
So moved.
And that, I
That's
think,
three of us.
okay,
Take a peek.
What do you wanna go with?
good one, since he hadn't talked enough. And Lightfoot, those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Drake, I.
Light put up.
That's 4-0, and you probably didn't even make that motion, did you?